So do you guys remember that riddle that we heard as kids? What is it that you can take more out of and it only makes it bigger? A hole. So this paradox is exactly what we see today. We have designers and engineers who want us to take more and more out of the board, and they want to add more and more power into it. It's a real paradox. So what kind of constraints have you guys felt when you're talking to your customers?
We have a customer in Japan who's using a powerful networking processor with tight transient performance requirements, and they're having challenges with board space requirements for the external capacitance needed.
One data center manager took me into a room. It was a small space about the size of a conference room. It was completely filled with power conversion systems. He said it needed more power, but he just didn't have any more space for it.
During my recent visits, some of my customers mentioned thermal as cooling as one of the major constraints.
So there's lots of conventional solutions to this kind of a problem, many of which GE has pioneered. We can make the products more modular, we can make them more compact, we can stack them. All these are great solutions, and they work really well. But they're all based on the same assumption, really a constraint that says that there's only so much board area, and we have to be constantly fighting with the designers and engineers who are creating value on that board with computational or networking capabilities. And that's the box, and we have to live in the box. But what if we didn't have that box? What if we could think outside of that box? So guys, here's the challenge. I have two reams of paper, and I want you to take all the information on both reams and combine them into a single ream. How would you do it?
It's simple, you just print on both sides of the paper.
That's right. Use the unused backside of the paper.
Most people don't print on the backside.
That's right, that's exactly the problem. If we were to look at a conventional solution to this problem, we'd simply reduce the font and try to fit everything on the top side of the paper. That's exactly the constraint that we see here. But what if we looked for that backside of the paper in the real application? Where is that negative space that if we could really use, we'd be able to give all that space back to the designers, all the topside space, to designers who really can use it to maximize the value of their innovation. So there are a lot of real constraints that limit our ability to take advantage of that negative space. There are mechanical constraints, mechanical or thermal constraints. There's feature constraints, transient response constraints, thermal AC/DC constraints, or power distribution constraints. All of these make it difficult for us to exploit the space that's available.